And even with the Chinese and the wholesalers, when they come up and they start up their business, I think for the first 5 years, they don't have to pay tax. But they found a loophole around it where they try to open up other businesses so they just keep on going and not paying any tax. That's what I've heard. And we don't have those same privileges as Jamaicans. So it's harder for us. And it's like, obviously the government wants them here because more business, more money in the economy, more jobs. But it's just like, why can't you provide all these benefits and resources to your own people? You know, like other countries do. Like, why are you for other people and not for Jamaicans? It's kind of crazy.
Hi guys, welcome back to Brian Reaction once again. So guys, if you're coming across my video for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share. So guys, in today's video is all about the Chinese. Now Chinese are complaining that Jamaicans are robbing them, they are attacking them. And on the other hand, Jamaicans are complaining on how the Chinese are treating them in their own country. Now, I remember there's a time when the PM of Jamaica said that he is ready to work with any investor as long as he will aid the development of Jamaica. So, the PM is ready to work with anyone as long as he will aid in the development of Jamaica. He is ready to work with all of them, be it Chinese, be it Africans, anyone, as long as he will aid the development of Jamaica. So the Chinese, you all know what Chinese have been doing in Jamaica. They have occupied Jamaica, and whatever they're doing in Jamaica, the people of Jamaica are not happy with how they are operating in their own land. Now, let's get into this video and watch some of the reactions from Jamaicans about the Chinese, and I'll be back with a few comments.
The Chinese man say they're done with Jamaica. They are finished with Jamaica. Then they pack them bag and go away left Jamaica. They don't want to have nothing to do with Jamaican people anymore. Then they pack up them businesses, them grandparents, everybody when they are Jamaica. Then they left everything. So, if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions on what these Chinese people have to say, please keep on watching your girl, cause I got a lot. So I was reading a news article in the Gleaner where they say the Chinese shun Jamaica. So I'm gonna say some of the direct things that they said in this news article. I don't agree with the title because Chinese can mean anything. They need to be more specific. But the Chinese businessmen and women of Jamaica that lives in Jamaica, that works in Jamaica, said they left. They can't bother, then leaving. So, the Chinese man that they were actually interviewing says, while some business are still operating in Jamaica, they're investing in migration plans. So, they're still working and collecting Jamaican dollars and selling the Jamaican people what their stuff, their products, and making money. But they're also having a backup plan. They're also getting all the money they can get from out the Jamaican people to migrate to somewhere else. The Chinese community is heavily targeted by criminals. They get robbed at gunpoint very often, hostage situation, and tied up at home. The Chinese had a meeting with JCF, and JCF is the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The superintendent relating to crime problems because they were on the verge of closing down all businesses in Jamaica. So the man that was being interviewed saying that the Chinese community is heavily targeted by criminals and they were on the verge of just giving up all their business and just closing everything down and leaving. And that's when they actually had a meeting with the superintendent about crime and violence in their community. And next, the Chinese said the Chinese Mr. or Mrs. Chin is disrespectful. Cultural differences with Jamaicans Jamaicans are more outgoing and enthusiastic. Most Chinese leave in the retirement age because they don't feel safe. They don't feel like the healthcare system is going to be beneficial to them in the long run, and there's no benefit to paying taxes. so they can pay taxes and they won't get any benefits when they retire, basically, and they don't feel welcomed. So let me put on this. I wrote down everything that I said. So the Chinese people say that they're done with Jamaica, they are left, they don't feel welcome, the cultural differences is affecting them and all these things. So hi, hello. Did the Jamaican people ask you to come to their country? That's the first question. Did we ask you to migrate from China, Japan, any Asian countries that you belong to, or even America? Did we ask you to come to our country and open up businesses in our country? No, we did not ask you to do that. So if you leave, you will leave at your own free will, because we never invited you in our country, and for real, we don't need you in our country at all. It's full time now. Jamaica stand up on their own 2 feet and start go back to farming yam and dashing and cassava and all these things, and top make these Chinese people feeding dog, coat, dog, rat, cat, horse and all these things. Okay, so the Chinese people saying that their cultural difference is a big issue, and the older Chinese people are more stuck in their ways and they don't understand the Jamaican culture, because we're more enthusiastic, we're more outgoing, and they're a bit more laid back, conservative. If you're going to a country and if you're going to be doing business in a country, it's up to you to change. Is up to you to adapt to that country so that your businesses will survive, so that you can make surplus of your business. It's not up to the people to change up and fix up for your benefit. No, you were the one that went to Jamaica. Now you're the one that needs to adapt. And if you Chinese people that are in Jamaica would actually integrate yourself in our communities, actually get to understand Jamaican people, instead of having your little communities outside of the Jamaican community, have one like a Chinese area and then you have like a Jamaica area. If it's migrated into the Jamaican areas and actually try to understand Jamaican people, maybe you guys would feel welcome, maybe you guys wouldn't be targeted. And it's very wrong that criminals are targeting them. It's very, very wrong. Nobody should be targeted, especially if you have a business. That should be a benefit to a community if somebody opens a business in a specific community. So, my thoughts, the Chinese people need to integrate into the community, and if they want to feel more welcome, they need to understand that we have cultural differences and we're different people, and they're the one that's supposed to change and adapt when they come to our country, not us. And to the Jamaican people, to my Jamaican brothers and sisters, are full time. It is full time that y'all start planting back on a cassava, start raising a hog, cow, and all these things, because these Chinese people are feeding you rat, cat, dog, horse, donkey, and all these things without you knowing, without your consent or your knowledge. So then they feed you all sorts of foolishness. They're fucking up your body, fucking up your digestive system. We have enough fucked up shit that goes through our digestive system every day. We don't need people to be falsely impersonating chicken and fish and all these things and giving it to us, okay? It's full time now. We start go back to old Jamaica, farming Jamaica, and stop depending on these people, because Jamaica depend on these Chinese people for their imported products. We need to be importing products out of Jamaica, not importing them back into Jamaica. We need to go back to the old days where importing food and stuff from Jamaica was a big business, okay? And honestly, The Chinese people talking about they don't feel welcome and they don't feel this and they don't feel that. Why are y'all still in Jamaica? Y'all are still making money. Y'all are still milking our communities for everything it has. So you talking about y'all leaving and you're making up migration plans is a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry to say it, it's a bunch of bullshit, because if you guys didn't feel welcomed, if you guys felt like our cultural differences was such a big issue and y'all it wasn't beneficial to you, y'all would have left a long time ago. So all that BS that you're talking about is all BS, because y'all have way more to gain being in Jamaica with your businesses than you have to lose. Okay, y'all make a lot of money out of the Jamaican communities each and every day, and y'all don't put any of it back into our communities. Y'all put it into your communities or send it back to your native land, to China. So what Jamaicans need to do is support people that is Jamaican, that putting back money into our communities, investing in our communities. And I don't know how many videos I have to say where Jamaican people need to start investing in their own. Chinese people talk about how them left and then they do this and they do that. If we were investing in our communities, making our own products, going back to the old days and farming and all these things, we wouldn't need any Chinese people to be in our country to provide any products at all, because we would still have our factories, we would still have manufacturing, and we would still be importing and making a lot of money importing products out of Jamaica. And that's what our people need to get back to. So that's my thoughts and opinions on this story. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell me in the comment section what you think about these Chinese people talking about them I left Jamaica and they appear criminal, they target them, and the cultural difference. They don't like people call them Chinese, Mr. Chin or Mrs. Chin. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section, and tell me if you think Jamaica needs to go back to manufacturing and importing their own products, because that me say and that me mean. Anyway, I'm out of here. Deuce.
Even with the Chinese and the wholesalers, when they come up and they start up their business, I think for the first 5 years they don't have to pay tax, but they found a loophole around it where they try to open up other businesses so they just keep on going and not paying any tax. That's what I've heard. And we don't have those same privileges as Jamaicans, so it's harder for us. And it's like, obviously the government wants them here because more business, more money in the economy, more jobs. But it's just like, why can't you provide all these benefits and resources to your own people? You know, like other countries do. Like, why are you for other people and not for Jamaicans? It's kind of crazy.
I don't know how difficult it is for you, but I actually can focus on more than one thing at the same time. I can express my concern for what these black capitalists are doing in the country in which I live, and I can also focus on what is happening with a so-called Chinese takeover in Jamaica. I can focus on those two things at the same time. With that being said, from the discourse that I've seen online, not a lot of Jamaicans are focused on this so-called Chinese takeover. Sure, people whisper, but whenever I speak or when other creators speak out and say, we should have some grace for Haitian refugees who are seeking asylum in Jamaica, and we should have some grace for people who are suffering in Jamaica, and we should be careful of how we are allowing foreign capitalists to come and take over certain industries. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are attacking us. It's the same Jamaicans at home who are telling us to mind our business. I also believe that there are bigger issues at play, and one of those issues is the way in which Jamaicans, especially those at home, have been conditioned that certain things are the way they are and should stay the way they are. It's the way how Jamaicans at home have been conditioned to believe that certain people belong in certain tier, and that is why I have seen a surprising number of people to me who are very unconcerned and very supportive of this takeover that you speak of, which is why I'm leaving it alone. I thought about making a video about it, but I'm leaving it alone because the last time I spoke up on here about how certain people were basically trivializing our black culture and trying to whitewash our culture on this here platform, it was Jamaicans, many black Jamaicans who came to their defense against me. So I have learned my lesson, and I'm going to leave you all to deal with that takeover. While I can, acknowledge that there are certain things that I am uncomfortable with, for the most part, I'm going to leave the Jamaicans to figure this one out.
People, listen to me. You see, these Chinese people, be careful when you go in there to buy your stuff. Look at the price carefully. 2 weeks ago, this is what happened to me. I went into Angwe, that big mall in Portmore that is beautiful. And this is why I said all that glitters are not gold. So I went into 7-Eleven because we were going to beach on a Saturday, and my son need a slippers to wear on the sun, right? So we went in there, and I saw the slippers for $16.50. No problem to pay that. However, a lot of them were on the stand with a big sale sign. Because it's paper like this, it's pink, and this big sale was written in black. Fine, I don't have a problem with that either. So I gave my son the $1,000 to go and pay for it. When he walked up to the cashier, he said it needs more money. So I went to look and see, is it $16.50 is the original, and the sale price is for $8.50, because that's what I see on the sale. Big sale is $8.50. No, I went to the cashier, which is a Chinese man, and I said, I don't have a problem to pay the $16.50, but I've seen where you have the big sale $8.50 on these slippers. So I am figuring that the original price was $16.50 and you drop it to $8.50. Even though I pay, he said, all right, give me $1,500. When I paid the $1,500, he said, let me call to double check. No, I still don't have a problem. So he called one of the Chinese girl in 7-Eleven in Angwe in Portmore, I'm talking about. So he called one of the young miss, which is a Chinese woman, and the Chinese lady came. No, $16.50, and shoved the slippers into my face. Said, I don't. If I can't read and if I can't see that it's $16.50, and I think of my sanity, and I think of my kids that are there, that I will not behave boisterous. So I went back to the aisle where the slippers was. And can I tell you, people, it's a lucky thing other customer were there. Even our own workers were standing there. When I went into that aisle, the lady, which is a Chinese woman, rip off the sale sign, rip it off, and said it was not there, no sale sign. And as the customer them said, no, you just came and rip it off. A lady took up 2 of the slippers and said, I'm going to put it back because it was $8.50, big sale, $8.50 on it. So what they did, they put the $8.50 side for you to take it up, and when you go to the cashier, it is not $8.50. And she went running and rip it off and push it up in my face. Say, I can't read. And let me tell you, every one of the customer them out of inside there walked out of 7-Eleven that Saturday afternoon. Well, morning rather. And they're a cuss and cuss and cuss. I asked for a refund. The security gonna tell me that I cannot get a refund. I said, sir, you're crazy. Don't let me show the other side of me. And the cashier, which is a Chinaman, he did not hesitate. He give all them there cuss and a carry. I got back my 1,500. Let me tell you, them Chinese people, I said, I don't eat from Chinese. Because they will give you rice, and it's not rice, it's plastic. They will give you chicken and says chicken is not chicken, it's frog. Because the price said 16.50, yes. But anybody would think that the original price is 16.50, but the sale is 8.50. And when you go to the cashier, they want to make it look like so we are idiots. We don't know how to read and write. Which China can come to Jamaica come tell me so how to read and write? Which China can come to Jamaica come go and like so they want to walk on me? Let me tell you, no people, don't make them catch you. Because if we don't buy from them, they would have to pack up and go back to their country. These Chinese people, them come here for rob, steal, and kill. And we 7-Eleven in Portmore. And guess what? I am not the only one who's complaining about them. And then just come, just bill. Just coming up. People want to walk in 7-Eleven, be careful, I want to buy. Even an ear product, it is not genuine. Be careful. I am warning you because guess what? It happened to me, so I'm sending it out there. 7-Eleven, Angway, Portmore Mall, where everybody are crazy about in Greater Portmore. The mall is beautiful, no doubt about it. But the store that I have the experience with, 7-Eleven, listen to people, careful when I spend no money. We work hard for it. Don't make the Chinese them come here, come trick us.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you have watched the full clip. So the PM of Jamaica, he did this a speech that he did, and he said that there's no way he can chase away investors. Obviously, investors are good for any given country. We need investors, and investors, you know, when investors are in your country, they will also help in one or two things, maybe the infrastructure development, the economy development, because they will pay tax, the licensing and all that. So the PM of Jamaica said that he will not chase investors away. Instead, he will work with them as long as they will help, you know, in building Jamaica, the economic development, the infrastructure, providing jobs and all that. So if they are going to do good things in Jamaica, the PM said he will work with anyone. So whether you are Chinese, whether you are from Africa, whether from America, whether you are from Canada, Japan, he's ready to work with you as long as you will aid the development of Jamaica. But now, this case of, you know, Jamaica and Chinese, it's kind of, you know, confusing because Chinese have not been doing good to the people of Jamaica. People of Jamaica have been complaining about the Chinese, and I have done several videos of them in my channel. You can go back and watch some of them, what Chinese have been doing in Jamaica. So the same Chinese, after doing bad to my Jamaican people, now they are complaining that Jamaican people are robbing them, they are stealing for them, they're not treating them well. So most of them are like, no, we are going back home because these people are stealing for us, they're not treating us well. Now, Jamaicans, on the other hand, are complaining that Chinese are making them work for them for so many hours, and they are paying them badly. They're not paying them well. So the Jamaicans are working for them for so many hours. They don't even have time for their families. They're just working and working. You know, Chinese have occupied Jamaica to an extent that most of the jobs that are in Jamaica are owned by them. And it's very sad because they are being supported by the government. You have heard the story of that lady. She has said that they are given a 5-year. You are just, you come to a new country, you are given a will to operate for 5 good years without licensing, without all that, just for free. You just come, open businesses, open your business, you operate for 5 good years. And now these people are smart. When it reaches that 5 years, they have other ways of, making them to stay. You'll find in some cases that they will even call their families and they will continue with their businesses after those 5 years. So after those 5 years, they don't even leave. So they have multiplied in Jamaica, and there are so many. So they own most of the businesses in Jamaica, and now my Jamaican sisters and brothers are forced only to work for them, because if they decide to open a business, they need a permit, they need licensing, all that. But now when these foreigners, in this case now are the Chinese, when they come to Jamaica, they are operating their businesses freely. The government supports them fully. And now Jamaicans have not been happy about this, because there's no way you can be supporting foreigners and leaving your own people. So Jamaicans have been on the PM, and I remember there's a video I saw somewhere. The Jamaicans went on a strike because the Chinese were not treating them well at work. So they had delayed their salaries, and Jamaicans went on a strike. So they were trying to send a message to their PM that we need these people out of our country. So in this case now that the Chinese are complaining that Jamaicans are not treating them well and they want to leave, I think it will some Jamaicans are gonna like this. Now there's a video I did some few days back about Jamaicans. They burned down a racist Chinese hotel. Now this Chinese built hotel in Jamaica, and he decided, he does not want Jamaicans in his hotel, especially the black ones. Jamaica is a mixed up country, so there's no way you can say you want the white ones and not black ones in your hotel. And whatever they did to that hotel, I know you guys saw that video. They did it very, very well. I really like that. That is what you do when someone tries to disrespect you in your own country. So to Jamaica PM, how are you going to solve this situation here? Because your people are crying that the Chinese are not treating them nicely. But you, on the other hand, you are saying that you are able to work, you will work with any investor as long as he will aid the development of Jamaica. So the bigger question here is that what if this investor comes to your country and mistreats your people? So how are you going to handle that? Because now they're mistreating the people of Jamaica. They're taking everything in Jamaica. Jamaicans now, you have been seeing Jamaicans, most of them, they have been going to the US, Canada, Japan. They have been trying to find greener pastures elsewhere, because in their own land, a foreigner has come and has occupied everything, has taken everything. So they are remaining with nothing. So now they are forced to go and find, jobs elsewhere. And you saw what Trump did to them. By the way, that was very, very sad. So I don't know how the PM is gonna balance the wellness of Jamaicans and his, investors, because obviously he needs investors. Every country needs investors. But now, how they treat your people, how are you gonna solve that? Now that is a bigger question. So thank you for watching this video, guys. Until my next video, one love.